Morning. Shut it up, right? Bottom of the deck already. Nine of Pentacles. You're making the life that you want. If like those cards weren't evident enough. I know there's been some not great stuff happening in the news. I'm aware. And, this is all, the cards that came out the other day are all about, in the face of this kind of stuff, like how do you react? How do you respond? And, it can make you feel pretty helpless because I'm pretty sure that's not how most of us want to be represented. Right? So what do you do? What do you do? Today is Sunday, March 1st. Rabbit, rabbit. You're going to make it what you want. And that was what the reading that for the cards that were pulled on Friday all about. What do you want in the face of things that are not to your ideal? Charity begins at home is the theme that is something that I keep thinking about. Like, we can only fix our world, our inner world. We can't do things. We can think, and I think I talked about this in another video recently. I know I did. If we want to affect changes on a broader scale outside of us, it's always starts within. How we're treating ourselves is how we start to treat the small things that matter or that we claim to think, we claim to value around us. But honestly, it starts within. We are the most valuable thing in our lives. We need to start here, treating ourselves as valuable. And that's where the wheel of fortune changes. We start to change that world. And the magic starts to happen. We start to notice things around us and things that, we've been putting so much effort into changing. Either change on their own or become a non-issue. They become less important. So when things feel really out of control, guaranteed, this is chaotic in here. So how do we find that center? How do we find that calm? Okay, card's already coming up here. Five of Pentacles. Yeah, when things start to feel out of control. We have to look to those practices that bring us to center. Look above. There is the light of the divine clearly shining down, between these two. Any kind of situation, the divine must be involved. We must see the divine in one another. We must look up. We must look with the eyes of love rather than continue to let chaos divide us or assumptions divide us. That was the other thing I kept meditating upon this morning. Just because things look a certain way doesn't mean it's true. You don't have all the information. We have to get quiet. We have to pull in other information. We have to get quiet and centered enough to pull in that information without judgment, to get grounded. This is a grounding card. It is a card of, losing, feeling like you've lost everything, that things have just are completely out of your hands. And You can't even wrap your hands around it. So, you can't, there are no atheists in foxholes. What is your divine higher wisdom? What are the things that you do that bring you in touch with something bigger than you, some bigger ideas that even you have, ideas that you don't even know where they came from? Trust those. Start trusting them, because the more you do that, the more you're going to be able to look up and wider than your own kind of personal quagmire, or even get involved in the quagmire, that's those situations in the external world that you encounter with people, with your work, whatever it might be. Bring in the divine. Bring in your better, wiser ideas. And if you think you're all out of ideas, think again. Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, think again. Because when we do recruit other parts of ourselves, other acts, even on the small scale, small seeds. Talked about this in a few readings back. Don't assume you have the full picture, because you don't. You don't know everything. And that's why I'm not speaking directly to the current events that have occurred, that have been happening over the past couple of days here and in the globe. I'm not speaking specifically because I don't know. I know it makes me feel really sad. And so I have to deal with my own sadness and understand, again, am I okay with how I'm being represented in the world? Well, the world changes and your Wheel of Fortune changes when I start to change my inner world, when I take time to get quiet, because things are actually okay. Things are okay. The birds are still singing. I can still be joyful. I may feel like, this is not a great place. But if I look up and I, know that I'm doing the best I can in each and every moment, things in the external world that make me feel like, this is making me not look good or feel good. Maybe I'm not showing up the best. That's okay. Maybe I'm not showing up in my finery. Maybe I'm not showing up as my best. But I know, if I know who I am, I know that I'm beloved. Things start to change and I start to get a little more creative, even on the small scale. Like today, I'm not in the living room because one of my cats was sitting, in the place where I have been doing readings. My hair's weird today too. Whatever, I'm gonna stop fussing with that. So I got creative. I'm like, I can go on the porch. It's warm enough today. Oh my gosh, it's actually nice. And yeah, sure, the planes are doing what planes do. They fly. But I can get creative and I can still do the things that I want to do. And my attitude changes. Right? It's a head game. We look up, we start to, again, we get an attitude shift. And I change my inner world. That's where I change my inner world. Come up with, better ideas that I can enact here on this plane. 5 of Pentacles is, again, Pentacles. That's things on this earth. And again, the world. So these are 2 cards that came up in the Friday reading. And the world is your oyster. It doesn't matter what the world says. How do you feel? Do you feel like this girl, like she can do anything? Like, she looks pretty freaking capable. She's not assuming that, she's actually assuming that she's cool to stand on one foot on this super high pentacle that she has, she's got these batons. She's going to twirl her baton. She's going to still do the things that she loves to do. And that's the other thing is, what are the things that you just quietly love to do? That's the easiest way to start getting out of like what you assume the world needs or wants or doesn't want. There's an even better one. Because that happens like, I'm not going to do X, Y, and Z because, nobody needs that or nobody wants to hear that. But do you love it? Do you like the way you do it? Do you like the way you do it? Don't let those assumptions about what other people think or need or want get in the way of what you want to do. Who you are. Shine bright. That light of the hermit can turn into this light that's standing, that's lifting you up. And you know what? When you're doing this, when you're doing you, when you're loving what you do, you love other things and you're lifting others. You're lifting those around you in ways that you have no idea. Don't assume. I'm going to leave it at that. So this is Sunday, March 1st. It's a great way to go into March. March is coming in with a beautiful day here in Washington, D.C., of all places. That's the message I'm bringing to you from Washington, D.C. I love you. I'm a person here, and I don't know who you are, but I love you. I love me, and I love you, and I'm lifting you in the best way I can. Have a great day. Come back this week. We'll do some more readings. If you like, share, subscribe. That gets this message out to other people, or directly share it, or directly message me. Ask me for your own reading if you want. Let's fly.